Good day, dear students. Today I'm going to cover the topic of cascading style sheets. Table of contents means the topics which I'm going to cover are brief introduction about CSS, what one can do with CSS, types of CSS. Here we have three types of CSS. One is inline style sheets, next is embedded style sheets, and last is external style sheets. But external style sheets are used in two ways further. And the last is pros and cons of using CSS. What is CSS? CSS is basically a presentation definition language which is used to control the layout of HTML documents by attaching some styles to it. Like with CSS, one can apply styles such as colors of the text, we can set the margins, we can set the fonts, we can set the style of fonts, background images can be set, we can give spacing between paragraphs also. And it was designed by W3C, that is World Wide Web Consortium, in 1997 just to use CSS to control the appearance of a web page rather than using HTML. So it was designed to enable the separation of presentation and content, and it's supported by all the web browsers. Now next comes, what do you mean by cascading? Why the name is cascading style sheets? It comes from the specified priority scheme to determine which style rules apply if more than one rule matches a particular element. Like in CSS, we can give multiple styles to a particular document. So in that case, the browser interprets these styles in a top-down manner. For example, suppose in case we are applying the styles different or multiple styles, or we can say conflicting styles that occur in a web page. In that case, like for example, if one applies the same style rule in different types of style sheets, then the order in which they will be applied or they will be used in a web page, that is determined according to some conditions. Like in case if there are no rules applied, then it takes the by default settings or the default settings of a browser which are applied for a web page elements. Like in case some user changes the web browser settings, then the page is displayed according to those settings. But we can set the settings when we are creating an HTML pages, we can change the settings accordingly. Like in this case, suppose I am giving a h2 tag, that is heading tag for a HTML page, and here I am setting the properties font style italic, h2 color dark blue, h2 color red. That means the page will be displayed in italic and in red color. Although we have defined the dark blue color here, but it was predefined. Now we have redefined the color to red. So that means that contents which are written in H2 tag, those will be displayed in italic format and in red color. Now here are some CSS rules. Basically, in order to create a style sheet, we have to specify a set of rules which are known as CSS rules or some styles. So these rules are basically used to control the appearance of various elements that appear in the associated HTML documents. And here you can see the syntax where one selector is there, and for the selector there is one property and the value is given to that particular property. And property and value which is enclosed in curly braces is called a declaration part, and the complete including selector is called a rule. That means rules are followed to create HTML pages. So what do you mean by property? Property, it specifies the attributes that one wants to change corresponding to a selector, and that value is specified by using value here. And in other words, we can say that value is the physical characteristics of a property, and property declares what should be formatted. For example, here on the next page we have different types of examples. Let's have a look on that. Here are some examples how we use these selectors and declaration is done. Like in CSS selector, we give the tag name and we can give the class attribute tag, and classes can be given and element IDs can be given. Like in case of CSS, when you are writing these things in CSS, at that time we are using h1 tag and we are defining the color red. And in HTML program, wherever we will use h1 tag, the contents which are used in h1 tag, those will be displayed in red color. Like in case of next example, class attribute, where we are defining a class is equal to some value, like class is equal to large. In that case, in CSS, we will write dot large. That means the browser will search for a class where its value is large and the font size will be 16 point. In case you want to use the class is equal to large in many tags, like you are using it in paragraph tag, you're using it in h1 tag, like h1 class is equal to large, that in that case, if you want to give particular point or you want to give some properties, to want to set some properties for a particular tag, in that case you will use the tag name with dot and then the class name which you have defined in for that particular tag. In case of element id, like if you are giving id is equal to something, you are not using class is equal to some value. In that case, when you are using id, you will write hash then your id name and same then properties can be set. Like in next example here, selector is h1 and we are giving some declaration means we are giving some property to a value. And here like color red, that means red is the value for property color, and wherever we will be using the h1 tag, in that case the contents will be displayed in red color and the font size will be of 15 pixels. Now further more examples are there here, like h1 then color blue, text align is equal to text align colon center. The rules which are defined here, in the same way you are going to use it in your programs. Like in case of normal HTML, we write bg color is equal to blue or color is equal to blue, text is equal to blue, where there we define the value to a attribute using equal to sign. Here the colon sign is used. Now next, style sheet, it can be contained one or more CSS rules. Like in the previous example here, we have also seen that color blue and text align center, that means we are using two declarations. Now next, here is a small example, like you are writing CSS code as body, background color line and paragraph font size extra large and background color is yellow. Whenever you will use this code in your HTML program using different ways, in that case the output will be like the picture displayed here. The background, the body color will be of lime shade and the paragraph the yellow. Now next arises the question, what one can do with CSS, why we need CSS. So there are many things which one can do with CSS, like one can easily apply same style rules on multiple elements. One can control the presentation of multiple pages of a website with a single style sheet. One can present the same page differently on different devices. One can style dynamic states of elements such as hover, focus, etc. That is not possible otherwise. One can change the position of an element on a web page without changing the markup. One can alter the display of existing HTML elements. One can transform elements like scaling, rotating, skewing, etc. in 2D and 3D space. One can create animations and transition effects without using any JavaScript, and one can create or print friendly version of one's web pages. Now next is different types of style sheets, or the question can also come in the way like in how many ways you can include your CSS in HTML document, and or the types of style sheets. So the number one is inline style sheets. Here we can use inline style sheets using the style attribute in the HTML start tag. So what are basically inline style sheets? These are the style sheets which are included within a single specific occurrence of an element in HTML document. That means in other ways we can say that they are placed inline within the element and its effect is limited to the element in which it is specified. So next is embedded style sheet, and embedded style sheets are used using style element in the head section of the document. So in this case, It is used when we want to apply styles to the elements within a single web page, and they are defined in the head element by using style tag. Now next is linking to an external style sheet, and it is used by using link element which points to an external CSS file. That means external style sheet basically works as a template or file that consists only of CSS rules and comments but does not contain any markups. Any markup means no other tags of HTML will be used in external style sheet. Now next is linking to an imported style sheet. This is basically a part of external style sheet only, but in the previous case we use the link element, but in case of importing we use the @import statement, and URL is given. That means where the file is placed in your computer system, the path is given, and this import statement it instructs the browser to load an external style sheet and use its styles. Now here is an example of inline style sheets. In this example, have a look upon the program. HTML head, then we are writing some title, then head title closed, head tag closed, then body. Here you can see that we are using the h1 tag, and there we are using style attribute. Style attribute is basically a property of a tag. Attributes are properties of the tag, and we define some values to those properties. Here style is equal to color colon red, as we have already discussed that whenever we are using CSS, in that case we define the property we define the value of its property as a colon sign. Each of the property or each declaration must be of the form property colon value pair, and the properties which you are defining, if more than one property is being defined, then it should be separated by a semicolon. Like here in this case we have separated it with semicolon, like color red, then semicolon, then font size, and then colon 30 pixel and semicolon, and it should be enclosed within the double quotes. Now here we have an example of inline style sheets. Although we are using it, it's quite easy to use an inline style sheet, but here it has some advantages or disadvantages of using inline style sheets. Like its advantages is if we use this style when there is only a single element within the entire web page, so it's quite easy rather than using the other ways of CSS, and it has the highest priority from all the methods available from applying style sheets. Like in this case, if we are using some other style sheets, like we are importing or embedding the external style sheet, then it has the highest priority. That means in the properties which we are setting using inline style sheet, it will be used at the first place rather than using the other style sheet methods. Now the disadvantages include, like it cannot be used to apply styles on multiple web pages at once, because we are giving the styles in single HTML file only. That means each and every time whenever we are using inline style sheets, then we have to specify individual styles to individual HTML file. And the same inline property, it cannot be applied to multiple occurrences of that element in a web page. That means we cannot apply multiple occurrences of a particular element in a web page. Now next is an example of embedded style sheet. In this case we are using the style tag in head tag. In style tag we are giving a selector body and we are giving some properties for that, and also we are using paragraph tag. And in case like here in case of body tag, we are writing h1, this is a heading, and then we are using a paragraph tag and we are writing a line, this is a paragraph of text, then paragraph tag is closed. And now see, there is an output. This is a heading and this is a paragraph of text. Now look here, we have defined the background color as yellow green and it is a attribute of body tag, so the background color is yellow green, and this is a heading. Here we are not defining any property to h1 tag, so by default whatever property is being set in the browser, that is applied here. And for the paragraph tag, the contents are displayed in white color. Using embedded style sheet, like in case of inline style sheets, we have some advantages or disadvantages. Here also we have some advantages or disadvantages of embedded style sheets. And advantages are like it can control multiple occurrences of an element in a web page. And in order to receive style information, no additional download is necessary as it is available within the web page only. And in case of its disadvantages, it cannot be used to apply styles on multiple web pages at once. Like here also, we are using it in the same HTML page only. Now, here is an example of external style sheets. External style sheets, as I have already told you, that we have to create a separate CSS file for this. And in this case, in this example, we are creating creating an external CSS file with the name style.css, where I have defined the body's background is light yellow, font is 18 pixel, and the font type is Arial or sans serif, and h1 tag has the property color orange. Now see in the example, whenever we are going to use the external style sheet, then we are going to use the tag link, where we are giving rel is equal to style sheet relative, and then we are giving hyper reference style.css. That means you have to specify the path where that particular CSS file is placed in your computer system. Then in body tag, we are using h1. This is a heading, same paragraph. This is a paragraph of text. Now look, we have given the background color as light yellow. So the background color is light yellow, and we are writing a line in headings h1. This is a heading, so its color is orange. So color will be placed used as orange. And in paragraph tag, we are not defining any property for p. So the color will be the default color, that is black, but we are defining some properties for the body tag, like we are defining the font size, that is 18 pixels, and we are defining some font type also, like Arial. So if the Arial font is present in your computer system, then it will take this font. Otherwise, if that particular font is not present in your computer system or not installed in your computer system, then the next option is taken. So like other style sheets, it has also some advantages or disadvantages. So advantages include like it can be used to apply style on multiple web pages in a website at once, because we are creating a separate style sheet. Sorry, we are creating a separate file of CSS. So that file can be included in different HTML pages, and it is easy to maintain website, as if there comes any change in the HTML document, you want to change some properties, then you need not to change in the different HTML web pages, rather you will change the contents in the CSS only. You can reuse the same web page with different style sheets according to the needs of the visitors, and you can easily use the style sheets created by others. And it basically, the main advantage is that it reduces the overall file size of the website, because in case when you are using the same styles in different web pages, in that case the length of the web pages will be increased and naturally the size will be increased. But creating only one style sheet that can be used in different web pages, naturally the file size or the website size will be decreased. Now, what is the disadvantage? Additional download time is required, because external style sheet is placed at sometimes is saved in some another places, or we have to download it from the server or from some another places. In that case, download time is increased. The formatting of web page will be delayed until the external style sheet is downloaded. Naturally, when the file is being downloaded from other place, then that means in that case it will take the effects to come later. It is not useful when number of elements to which style is applied is very less, because if you are using a limited number of or one or two properties you want to set in your HTML page, then you need not to use or to create a separate style sheet. In that case, you can use those properties in your HTML pages only. Now the last is importing style sheet. That means you have already created a style sheet and CSS file you have created, and you are going to use that external style sheet in your file, but here we will use the import statement. Like in style tag at import, then URL is used using style.css. That means the properties which are used in style.css, those will be used. Also you can define your own properties. In h1 tag we are writing one line, and in paragraph tag we are also writing one line. Now look at the style.css file in which we have defined some properties to the body tag and to the h1 tag. Here same, the default properties will be taken, but in case like here we have already defined the properties to paragraph tag. In previous example, as we have seen, we have not set any properties to the paragraph tag, then it took the default settings, like the color of the text was black. Here we have defining the color to blue, so the color will be blue and the font size will be 16 pixel, but the font type will be Arial or the sans serif, that is according to the browser. Now this is all about CSS and its different types. Now next there comes some pros and cons of using CSS, means what are the advantages and disadvantages of using CSS. We have already discussed that why we should use a CSS. Now here comes some another points, like it saves the time, greater designer control of the appearance of the page is there, easier management of the site-wide changes, and there is a greater accessibility to websites by non-graphical browsers and web page reading softwares. And there are a few cons, or you can say disadvantages, like different browsers may interpret style sheets in different ways, and some styles may not be seen at all on some browser, like there will be a little bit of difference between the styles. Thank you.